But yeah, so here we got the Unbearable Well is best played in full screen. I will definitely do that. They've really done it this time.
I think we need to accept a friend request.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Accepted. There we go. After a string of misfortune, the iconic duo of Little Timmy and Rupert the Bear find themselves in perilous danger down the bottom of a mysterious well. How will they survive? Who put all these bear traps here? Can a bear even wear a minor helmet, and why is it so adorable? Find out the answer to one of these and more in The Unbearable Well. Alright, we've got WASD controls, left click, switch item with mouse wheel, and yeah, here we go. Also, just a heads up to everyone, I will be rating every single game that I play on stream, but I will be doing the rating off stream just to keep up the pace of things. So don't worry, I've got a good memory, and odds are, after the fact, I'll have something else in my mind to give as design feedback on the project. So, without further ado, let's get the game running here. Is there anyone else that I need to add in as a friend in order for them to be able to join the call?
I'm sorry, I'm really trying here, but there are already 2 peeps who joined the group, your DM, and it's not letting me invite anybody else into the call. Could you maybe invite... Let's see...
Yeah,
if I give you the names, can you
absolutely. Just post their usernames into our shared message here, and then I'll add them as friends, and maybe that'll let me do it. Okay, but yes, here we go. We got the Unbearable Well. Oh, I need their full username with the Discord, like 4 digits at the end. And then I'll add them in as friends so they can join on the call. Okay. So let's add a friend. Oh, okay. I need to actually add people as friends via this thing. Add friend. Here we go. Send friend request. And then the other one, we're going to do this one. Send friend request. Okay. And then we're going to add friend to a call, which is going to be TRK. And there we go. Create group DM. All right. I think that's working now. Hello.
Yeah.
Hey. Now I have to mute your stream.
Sorry? Oh, yes, yes. Please do mute the stream. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of echoing. Double. Yeah. Here we go. So we're going to full screen the game. We've got everyone on. Sorry that that was a bit of a rocky start, but we've got it all figured out now. Doing it live.
We'll just make it easier for the next people.
Absolutely. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and give the game a shot here, and I've actually got a set of typical interview questions that I like to ask, so I'll throw those out to you via the chat, and we'll just start going through them a few at a time. But first of all, why don't you introduce yourselves?
I think everyone's waiting to be polite.
Yeah. Okay, let's go in the order that I see at the top here. So, LordL75?
Yeah. Yep, hi, I'm, what's it called, Lord, I'm the, what's called, lead designer / lead dev / music, no, / sound guy / also did some art. So basically, I put a group of all these lovely people together, and we've made a game.
Nice, alright. And, TRK?
Hello, I'm Rick, I'm the lead Unity guy. I make sure everything works in the game, and I do all the programming.
All right, and Xena?
Yeah, I'm the musician. I made all the music. I also linked it up with Fmod, but unfortunately we couldn't use that in the eventual build. And all of the sprites that are animated come from me.
All right, excellent. Okay, here we go. So, first and foremost, how did you decide on what you're going to make for the jam?
Well, we basically just got a Jamboard out, and we took the core idea, split it into a couple different ideas, and just picked the one which sounded best. From that, we just put up a GitHub and kept working.
All right. And then, what was your development process like for the game?
Rocky is putting it kindly. For the vast majority of the game, like quite literally until the last stretch, it wasn't fun to play. Everything was janky. It was broken. The design was terrible. We had to redo the mechanics, I think 5 different times. But I'm pretty glad with how it turned out in the end.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad that it did work out in the end. So you said that there were 6 people involved total in the game?
Yes, 6 people.
All right. So we've got half of the developers on the call here. How do I... I'm just reaching the level where I've got to navigate a bear trap, but I'm not exactly...
What else
Oh,
have
okay.
you thrown the bear
There we
trap?
go. Okay. I figured it out. Oh no, but touching the water is no good. Okay, so I've got that sorted
Everyone
out.
struggled with this one for a second.
I think I've got it. Like, I was trying to be a little too efficient with how I was doing the pathing, but we'll get it. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, we'll move on to the next question here. Is there any particularly clever hack or shortcut that you needed to use for this game jam project that you wouldn't use on a like full production scale project?
Design-wise, I used the reverse thing of a clever hack. I made everything a little long and prolonged. I had to redo a bunch of stuff. I'm not sure. What about in programming?
Well, I just copy pasted a lot of code instead of making functions because it was faster. So the code is awful to look at, but it does work.
I think I had the same kind of approach in the music or in the I don't know. I never do animation before this, so this is kind of new. But the music was usually I would make multiple separate projects to work inside, but that does cost time because you have to set up the instruments every time. So I just had one big project, which means some of the settings I needed to automate to change throughout the project, even though usually because they're separate. Yeah, you needed to change some stuff in the sound design, but it was more efficient than setting up the instruments multiple times.
Okay, cool. I don't know the most about audio engineering. I'm definitely more of a like Unity programmer slash. I actually did my project I did in Game Maker, so I know a little bit more about UI development in Unity. That's the main focus of my day job. But otherwise, oh hey, dude named Daisy, thank you for the raid, and right, so I guess moving on to the next question here. Did you need to cut or change anything in order to finish the game on time?
The answer is yes.
Yes, we also the biggest thing which we had to cut in the end was fmod. Fmod is so I don't know it as well as Xena and RTK does, but it's essentially it's a plugin for Unity which allows you to layer sounds a bit better, have greater control. With the final web build, which is essential for a jam, otherwise not as many people would play the game. For the final web build, it didn't work properly, so none of the music played. So we had to compress all of the ambient sound, remove it all, and just have plain old music, which it's a bit sad, but a game comes first before fancy features.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude named Daisy is just asking in chat here, how's it going? It's going pretty well so far. There's I did not expect this many people to be up in the middle of, well, what is morning to me. It's 11 a.m. But hey, that's cool. Yeah, I know that you're quite right. Like, I do think it's very important to prioritize having a web build for a game. Like, unfortunately, the reality of what it takes to, like, even the minimal amount of effort that it takes to download an exe and run it these days, like, there's just nothing quite like being able to run something out of a browser.
Exactly, but the new itch.io, what's called desktop version, is pretty good for that. But most people don't have it.
Yeah, I forget
thing.
that that's even a thing.
Yeah.
I see that the speedrun strat.
Yeah.
It just seemed like the most obvious solution to me. Yeah, I'm curious on how many levels are there?
In total, I think 14, 15.
11.
Okay.
11? Alright.
All right.
I was wrong.
Well, that's fine. I'm not necessarily going to have time to get through all of them on stream here, but again, if this is a puzzle game, then we'll make sure that we drop the link in chat once again at the very end here. And then also going to be, yeah, then everyone else who is watching in stream can give it a try and get to the end, hopefully. But I'll move on to my final question here, which was, what are your plans for the game going forward?
Quite honestly, the game itself is more of a one-off shot. It'll be really quite hard to develop this idea without putting a lot of bloat on it. What I think more important of the game is the really, really cool group of people we have here. I mean, we have a watercolor artist, we have a very talented musician, we have good old MVP RTK here who single-handedly saved the game with all its programming. And we all for this, we used the Team Finder, which is really quite invaluable. So I think I found a pretty good team I'll stick with for, well, we'll see for how long.
At least for me, I know that I'll be sticking to this team. If the rest of the group is also excited to work with us, I'll be there.
Definitely.
Nice. I'm really glad to hear that. So I'll see if I can complete this level, and then we're gonna move on to our next game. But just before I do, are there any closing thoughts? Anything you want to share or shout out? Anyone?
I would just like to give a short in memoriam to the 36 ambient sounds I made that because fmod didn't work, never made it into the game.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, but
it's fine. I just like talking about it because
Hey, and I just beat the level.
Hey.
Is there an exe? Well, okay, so not here, obviously. But are you able to make maybe after the jam's over, you can make an exe version available that has the ambient sounds included?
Yeah,
that is the
we're
plan.
definitely gonna do that.
All right, excellent. Well, I'm just realizing that I never hit enter on the questions. I pasted them into the chat and I never hit enter, so you didn't know what they were going to be ahead of time. All right.
No.
Sorry about that, but anyway, thank you so much for joining me on the call today. I'm sorry that it was a little impromptu, but also thank you for submitting the game to the stream. And yeah, I'm going to grab the link to this and we'll drop it in chat. And hopefully, if you have another project that you'd like for me to take a look at in the future, then you'll consider submitting it via the Discord.
Sure, will do. Thanks for having us on.
All right, talk
Good
to you
luck
later.
to everybody else in their games.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye.